enterprises which have operations in more than one provinces. So, they came up with an IRO 2011, made it applicable to the federal territory and to those transnational companies which were operating in more than one provinces, and tried to find a way through this ordinance to address to that issue. Unfortunately, in so doing, they have acted illegally, and the Supreme Court judgment that I just referred to in fact came as a result of such a mistrust that had already been spread among employers and workers fraternity as to what were the powers of the federal government to legislate. Now, what does this law say? What does the judgment say? Federal government cannot legislate in provincial matters, and if at all it has to do so, it must do it in accordance with Article 144(1) of the Constitution. And what is Article 144(1) of the Constitution? It says that if one or more of the provincial assemblies by a resolution call upon the federal legislature to make a law which may have federal implication, only and only in that situation federal government can make a law. And even if the federal government makes such a law on the resolution of one or more of the provincial assemblies, the provincial assemblies will have the power to amend that law in any manner they like through their provincial assemblies to suit the interests and conditions of the province where that law was to apply. Now, IRO 2010-2011 therefore is a defunct law. One, it was an ordinance which is going to expire after 6 months, 3 months, and then another 3 months maximum. So, IRO 2011 is not the answer. If IRO 2011 has to be there, they have to follow the procedure set down in the Constitution and pointed out by the Supreme Court. They have to have a province to resolve in making such a request to the federal government. Now, that is as far as the IRO industrial relations laws is concerned and their application. Now, the point is these are the challenges which have been created by the 18th Amendment. Number 1, enactment of provincial industrial relation laws How are they going to enact them? How would they ensure that establishments which are having or spread over other provinces are going to be managed? अब मेंटली हमें चंद चीजों को मानना पड़ेगा इन क्वेश्चंस के आंसर के तौर पर। और पहली बात अब यह है कि वी विल हैव टू स्टार्ट थिंकिंग in terms of provincial rather than federal laws in issues of labor. There is no option. That means if I am operating in 4 provinces, I will have to have 4 structures independent of each other. If it is union or CBA, it has to be for each province. So, that means additional maybe cost or burden to organizations, but that is a reality, you have to go for it, there is no option. The attempt that we are now trying to make is, and that is why I say it is also an opportunity, we are trying to prevail on all the 4 provinces कि कम से कम IRO को तो एक रखो. It is all right, companies may have their own CBA for each province, लेकिन discrepancy, discrimination और unequal, inequitable repercussions तो ना हो लॉ के नतीजे में. मिसाल के तौर पर कहीं NIRC है, कहीं NRC नहीं है, कहीं रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ ट्रेड यूनियन रजिस्ट्रार कर रहा है, कहीं NIRC कर रहा है. ये नहीं होना चाहिए. There should be one uniform law in each of the 4 provinces. This is what now the policy makers, interest groups, employers, workers are now trying to do with the government. We should have one IRO separately adopted in each of the 4 provinces. That will resolve the second issue of IRO 2011, because that is the ultimate, we have to go for it. The third important thing, and that is where a lot of challenge lies, what is going to happen to 162 laws? This is one lifetime opportunity with the provinces, government as well as you and us, employers and workers and their leadership, that they must seize this opportunity to simplify the law by mutual consultations. This is an area where work is already on. Governments have 2 options. One is a long term option and one is a short term option. The short term option is that all the laws which are currently applicable will be provincialized, so that there is no vacuum. I have been given some questions already, in which the answers are quite obvious. One of my friends asked this question, whether we continue to make payment to the workers welfare fund. Sir, आपका ये सवाल था. Workers welfare fund, it continues at this time, it has not been abandoned. Government has the time to apportion it among the provinces in due time. That has to be decided in the inter-provincial coordination mechanism which has been provided in the constitution. So, the fund has not ceased to exist. The law has not ceased to exist. It is in operation. Till that period, almost 2 years that has been provided in the 18th amendment for complete devolution is not complete. So, one long term challenge and solution is that all the labor laws will be retained by provinces, and fresh promulgation के बाद there has to be a concerted effort to review the total legal structure of the country. I call it a distinct opportunity for a country like Pakistan. This is what Malaysia did when Mahathir Mohamad took over. They also had almost similar labor legislation